run him for firearms. And what does he own? A Kel-Tec 32 automatic, which is one of the manufacturers we're looking for. So again, another flag goes up. Now we got a time to event. Was Jacoby the man witnesses saw driving the silver van close to Monica's house around the time of the murder? But the problem we're seeing
well, I knew this was coming because I looked at the reservations, so I knew someone was going to be actually next to us tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday night. But it's like actually like 4 or 5 people, and they all have trailers, so I don't know if the rest of the campground is booked. Yeah, just they're non-electric sites, so you just sort of go when you see a trailer. You figure they went the wrong way, and they're gonna loop around and come back out. That's usually what has happened since we've been camping here. Yeah, I haven't seen anyone in pop-up things or trailers the entire week until now. Yeah, and dogs, and it sounds maybe like kids and music, and they're not. You can't really do a fire, but they're doing some sort of like fuel because we just got a huge whiff of it. Someone was doing charcoal one day. That smells wicked bad too.
But detectives will need something more concrete if they're to file charges. We made the decision. We're going to hit Tim's house with a search warrant. Tim did not say one word.
In terms of loudness, like over the course of 5 weeks so far, the people with the children are the loudest. They just, their children yell and they don't tell them to stop yelling.
That had been stolen in a burglary in Florida some years before. So Tim, being a felon, he was not to possess any kind of firearm.
All of a sudden I go, what the fuck? And Brian goes, what? I go, all I can smell is fuel. And then within like 2 seconds, he could smell it. And I just go, I cannot fucking stand these people. Like, you would think I'm mentally ill, like everything about people fucking bothers me, but yet I'm not. Oh, so anyway, some company called Wayfinders emailed me. Okay, so these people apparently help people become landlords. They get people houses for nothing. They have something to do with raft, so they don't pay utilities, and now they want you to pay for their fucking transportation. I can't make this shit up. They just emailed me. They've got 1,600 clients, and they all want you to pay for their fucking transportation because something about their money, it makes it hard for them to pay rent. They're fucking criminals. They don't pay rent. They use raft. They all got vouchers. They got subsidized housing, and they got raft. It's all in the email. And now they want you to pay for their fucking transportation because they're criminals. They're profoundly insane criminals.
I then further inquired with Sarah if she'd ever seen this small black
while everybody else fucking works or lays on the ground.
To ACP firearm to match the shell casing we found.
They want governmental funding or private sector funding to basically bombard you with free electrons after taking over your fucking land. Yes.
And they would shoot up towards a field. Police quickly file a search warrant.
They are mentally retarded people. No higher intelligent being sets out to do this shit. Nope. They do not. They don't want to get everything for fucking free, and that's their entire life, making up shit they need for free. And then still probably stealing from fucking stores. They don't know anything else to do but fraud and lie and steal and get out of fucking doing anything. And then they don't understand why they're so fucking unhappy, because they don't work. They don't work. They're not productive citizens. They don't contribute to your fucking society anything good.
I look down, the boards are spaced in a way that they're, I don't know, maybe a half inch to 3/4 of an inch apart. You know, light bulb goes off. I look at these two guys.
I don't know if you know what raft is. You might want to find out and just prepare, like, pour a strong fucking drink. or pack a bowl.
I don't know, 30 seconds. And the
As
one
you
officer
just
says, "What are
become
you
more
looking
and
for,
more in
32?"
awe of what
And I
the
said,
fuck
"Man,
it goes on here.
don't screw with me like that." He goes, "Here you go." He pulls one out from underneath the porch. He goes, "Oh, here's another one. Here's another one."
You were worried
Here's
about
another.
rich people and tax
The shell
loopholes?
casings
These
we
people
found
are fucking
in Jacoby's car
insidious.
were matched up with the shell casing
Rich people
from
aren't
the
getting
murder
a raft. They're not getting subsidized
gun
housing.
that fired
They're
the
not
shot
getting
that
Mass
killed Mike
Dot to pay for
Fitzgerald.
their fucking
The same
transportation.
gun that fired those rounds when we found
They're
it.
not cutting you in line at the fucking food pantry.
But before detectives could bring murder charges against him,
They're not storming the fucking castle of Walmart on Black Friday. Catch my drift? I didn't even have that much money, and I didn't partake in that fucking horse shit.
Police determined that he had never met Monica,
Like, people had some
had nothing
fucking
against
pride
Monica,
in
and
themselves,
the only
where they
way
wanted to
there was
own a
her
house. They didn't
husband.
want to be fucking welfare recipients.
to detectives, it was looking more and more like Tim didn't act alone.
John's alibi was airtight
Walk.
in the sense that he could not have.
Why did you take
committed that
housing
crime.
somewhere that you can't
However,
fucking walk to?
That didn't clear him with police.
We're walking
because
2
suddenly
hours to a fucking
could have hired
grocery
Tim
store
Jacoby.
and then using DTA
Anxious to
fucking
get the
cash for a
truth
lift.
once and for all, detectives confront the
That's
man
why
they
I
suspected
prefer
all
the
along.
campground we can
I
walk
would
to the
doubt
food.
you.
Not I
We're
go,
thinking
you got to
we're
pay for
John's
my
fire
fucking
was
lift
hours on
now.
because we were not
On top of a
100%
fucking apartment you don't
sure
pay
that
for,
John didn't
and
have anything to
utilities
do
you
with
don't
the
pay
problems.
for, and food you don't pay for, and internet you don't fucking pay for. Go fuck yourselves. Yeah, they can send drivers out there to drive out there and release free electrons.
Police have
Not you
strong
people need
evidence
fucking free
implicating Tim
transportation.
Jacoby in the murder of
Fuck
Monica
yourselves. You should
Schlein.
have stayed in the city where you can
Well,
jump
they
the
suspect
fucking
that
train,
Monica's ex-husband,
retard.
John, may have
You didn't think
ordered the
about
hit.
that shit? Your fucking
We've
problem.
identified Tim Jacoby as a suspect,
I'm sure that
but now
you
we
have
need
a
motive.
fucking
Well,
food pantry, right?
how
Where
did
do you
Tim
have to
Jacoby
go?
know Monica Schlein?
Fuck yourself. That's why they're
Because
supposed
he
to
doesn't
shut
know her.
down fucking medical
But
and
if
shit
it's
in the
John,
middle of the country.
did John Schmeier and Tim Jacoby
It ain't even
conspire
that anymore, but that
to kill
was the initial
Monica
plan to
Schlein?
force you fucking things into a
John and
city
Tim would
where you could
socialize
get to
together.
shit. You're
According
just
to
gonna
John,
spread out
that's
all
where
over the
Tim
fucking
learned
land
about
piece and make
Monica
everything a
and the
fucking
envelopes of
city?
money.
You're profoundly fucking
Went
insane.
further. He said Tim knew that Monica would have cash in
That
the
is
house.
why you
That's
have
what
to
John
be
told
put
him.
down with nuclear weapons, because
He knew
you will
Monica
fucking
lived by
kill
herself.
everyone.
John
You will
told him.
fucking kill everyone.
Tim
You
Jacoby
probably
took that
demanded that
information
fucking forests
and
be
he
cut
devised
down
in his
in
mind
the
a
middle of
perfect crime.
Massachusetts and fucking apartments built.
It's a plausible motive. Still, to test the
What's
theory
with
that
all
John
this land
Jacoby
out here?
triggered
Like, you
the
probably thought
murder,
3 people should
detectives
lose their
searched the
fucking
financial
property because they
records
were
of
all
both
on 5 acres, and then they build a
trying to
fucking
find
apartment
any
complex.
kind of
Yeah, you would, because you're
financial
fucking
connection between
insane.
John and Tim. We left no stone unturned.
You're doing it. It's called Massasoit fucking
Did
Estates.
detectives know that John had placed a call to Jacoby on the day
How
of
are
the
you going to
murder?
get to a fucking grocery store from there? It's a
We inquired
2-hour
with
walk
John
from
about
there to the
why
fucking
this phone
grocery
call had
store.
been made.
That's the
He related
closest
that
grocery
he had
store to
called
that
Tim
place.
to let him know that he was meeting with Sarah because he didn't want Tim to think there was some kind of relationship
It's
between
about
them,
driving,
or
not
that
you keep
John was
building them
trying
fucking
to
houses out
formulate
here.
a relationship with Sarah. Without any evidence to implicate John in his wife's murder, detectives finally clear him as a suspect. I believe that John
Yeah, no shit. I mean, that's worse than packing down the dirt so people can drive RVs onto them. As we all wait for you fucking things to keel over and die. Well, we're having a hard time paying rent. What rent?
Is charged with first-degree murder.
Someone she had never met. That
It's
John
fucking
knew.
wayfinders. You don't pay fucking rent. All you do is defraud people. You all have fucking housing vouchers and subsidized housing. That's what the whole program is. The fuck are you talking about?
Tim signed out the van in Lancaster County, came across, parked the van, walked up to the home, whether he knocked on the door or he rushed the house, whatever. He overtook Monica, whether it was by surprise or by force. At some point, she made a run for the phone. At which point she brought the phone up to make a call.
Get it?
She was shot.
They lie. They lie?
Worried police are on their way. Jacoby panics.
Yeah, maybe they all want a fucking limousine sent there so they can go get a mani-pedi. And then they'll say that they were at the grocery store next door. Give me a fucking break. What bills? What rent? It's in the email. They're Wayfinder's fucking clients.
Cover his tracks by tampering with the logbook and murder weapon.
It showed that Jacoby was trying to erase every bit of evidence that might tie him to this crime.
So far, the evidence is circumstantial. So prosecutors turn to the results.
It's gonna be time for bed soon. 7:30. Yep, we usually go to bed about 8:30 because it's getting dark out.
YSTR tests for specifically the male Y.
Peanut butter and dates and bananas. I didn't think it was gonna rain the whole day, so I basically prepared for like a lunch in the tent. And then I went, oh my god, because the weather radar changed a couple times. Yeah, as of about 8 o'clock, it was supposed to stop raining completely. It's not really about cooking, but that I could have gone back to my supply tent. Yeah. We actually have like oodles of noodles, and we have cheese. We could have made cheese sandwiches. We have tuna fish, but I always cook it. I usually don't eat cold tuna fish. But
ultimately, Tim was sentenced to death.
Yep, 7:30 already, babe. Day's almost fucking over. All we have to do is get tired and sleep now.
You know, maybe there was a
I thought he was going to do some of his Chinese, but he was stopped when I turned it on. I was like, exactly. He's learning Chinese from that Duolingo thing.
Dedicated
Catholic. Huh?
So kinda.
Kinda. I think it's sort of limited, but like,
I don't know anybody that was more
yeah,
dedicated to
it's kind
her
of
family and
limited.
God. She was
But he knows phrases and stuff, yeah.
For more information on an unexpected killer, go to oxygen.com.
My right knee. It's not good when I'm like sitting up all the time because my knee is bent. Sometimes when I squat down, like to go into the supply tent, I'm just like, ah. I noticed this thing with my knee when we first started camping. I think I need new sneakers. Yeah, it's not all the time. It will resolve. I just let myself get completely like physically degraded over a year and a half. It's bad. It's not as bad as when I did it for 5 years. No, 3.5 years. When I first came up here. I can never let myself get that bad again. Because I lose weight. It wouldn't matter how much I eat. I would lose weight, my belly blows up. I don't put on fat. I just either put on muscle or lose muscle. It's part of the crimes against humanity. You have to physically do things and eat certain foods to maintain muscle mass. It's not anything to do with age. There's people in their 60s that have pretty good muscle still because they do what they're supposed to do. Yeah, just that chick at me at Health one day. Oh, it sucks getting old, doesn't it? Huh? That's what it is? It's not because I can't follow my diet or and do my regular fitness stuff? Okay, tell yourself it's that. Yeah, I'm 65, I'm 75. Fucking 53 at the time. You just go, people are really fucking sick. Really fucking sick, man. Yeah, talk to Arnold Schwarzenegger and some of these other people. You don't lose all your muscle mass at fucking 53. Just all of a sudden bloop and you lose all your muscle mass and get old. Fucking crazy. You people did because you don't fucking do anything. That's why you did. That happens to you at about 35. You're so fucking sedentary and your diet's so poor. Oh, do you want Pluto on, V? What's the battery looking like? I've already done this like 3 times today. Are you serious? It's already down to 44%. Fucking God. Why do I hear a person fucking talking? Like they've got to be walking by or they're at the bathroom, so they sound like they're right the fuck behind me. Oh, this is on the stove. I was gonna say limitless. You ever hear of that?
Yeah. It takes the pill.
Oh, he's pretending he's Keanu Reeves. Takes the pill. They already did that in the Matrix.
Take the pill and then they can watch it for you.
Yeah, just like the Matrix.
No, makes them more smart and stuff. Nothing.
Yeah, just imagine a week, right? Barring the 2 days that someone was next to us, and they really actually weren't that loud, those people. And they were only here for 2 nights, and like the one day they weren't even at their campsite. The whole day they just were off doing stuff with their kids. But anyways, just imagine being like in quietness, and then all of a sudden it's this. It's weird. It's a weird experience. Yeah, just. Well, there's got to be a campground somewhere where they actually enforce tent only and non-electric sites, and it might be Wampatuck, and I just don't know it because I don't remember one single even a pop-up camper or a trailer in that loop. There was that one night where those people had like solar lights and they stuck them all together, like a big a football field light. But no, you didn't have anybody doing that. Hacker might try to do it. They had the one dude with the generator that pulled up next to the electric sites. We have a trailer on it. So it's a couple of things. Yeah. Of course you go, how the fuck do you people have all that? Of course you do. I don't say to them. But it's an unspoken point. Like from my point of view, the hostages don't really pay attention to you people. We don't talk about you people. We don't care what you're doing. Yeah, we prefer not to sort of know. But the rest of the population needs to know exactly how bad this is, how far it's gone. Yeah, because I really don't care in your dementia, like what you think is regular America and what you're doing. There's clearly a crisis of U.S. citizens being held hostage and crimes against humanity, and you're just like, "Woo, we have money, and let's buy this and let's buy that." How could you even be accumulating things like that with something like that going on? It wasn't even like that when I renounced all my shit. Remember when I wouldn't even talk about shit I was watching on TV in case people didn't have TV? I would only suggest shows that were on fucking YouTube. Remember that? That's the difference between you people and me. A Holocaust. And yeah, that shit is my fucking business. That is my problem. Essentially, profoundly retarded, poisoning all of my fucking water. Yeah, that is my fucking problem. When you're a being that just cycles, you don't go to heaven. You just cycle, right? You don't go to Jesus in heaven in the fucking fairyland in a cloud. And you have profoundly mentally retarded beings destroying all of the water supply and the food supply and cutting down every fucking tree. Yeah, that's my problem. What's your fucking problem? I just told you what my fucking problem is. The fuck smelly fuel, loud kids, barking dogs has to do with driving to kill other people. Because they are bad, you're not. So you're not even doing that. Like, are you driving trailers and trucks around a fucking state forest because you're trying to kill tent only campers? Okay, so that's not what you folks are doing. And you're probably completely unaware that other people drive on purpose to kill you. You're probably completely unaware of that. And that there's other people that can do nothing but pray because you're murdering their children with the free electrons. And they know that the nuclear weapons are going on and that they have to. You're probably completely unawares of that, right? And you wouldn't care if you were aware of it. Because you can't fight a traditional war here. It's not possible to do. You would just have complete, it would be like Night of the Living Dead, hell on earth. You can't do it. And then NATO would have to just completely turn us all to dust if that ever happened. They would never allow that to go on here. They'd have to just go poof, and then we'd all be gone in a second. That is why. That's why it doesn't matter, sort of like how bad like 10 people get. There's nothing anybody can do but like just focus on the regular world stuff that people do. If they're arrestable, they'll get arrested, stuff like that. This other stuff, they wouldn't follow a transition plan to free up the middle of the country. Okay, and then people that were gonna just camp in a tent like this could go and protect their children, like I suggested about Pearl Hill. That's why it can't happen. Because now the wayfinders, people that were given housing, they want you to pay to to, to pour out free electrons on you. That's what they want. When I said, when I walked out to Worcester, that if you can't walk like that, you need to move into the city. That is what I said. I didn't tell a bunch of old people to hunker down in Foxborough and then get housing at Walnut. No, when they already have housing and homeless people can't get housing preference. I didn't tell you to do that. You told yourself in your own devil head to do that. So there's going to be cars and trucks and everything out there because you kicked me out of someone's public housing unit there. You said you were going to throw her to the street too, as you hunt me everywhere I am in a profound madness. So no one's stopping driving out there. They might be in a church praying in there soon too. Not someone's going to shoot them up. I'm saying, I don't even know if the story's true. I'm talking about something else where people's children are dying from cancer, not someone showing up with a shotgun and shooting them dead. They are dying all over the place from cancer that is caused by thermonuclear weapons and free electrons. That is what is causing it. Ionizing radiation and free electrons. You might want to look it up. There's nothing anybody can do about it but to drive more. As me and people like me, just lay on the ground like this, whether we're in a campsite or the city or sitting up in a chair at Father Bill's place, surrounded by just criminally insane people and then just outright insane people. That's it. That's all anyone can do is just keep driving and driving and driving and driving and hoping that God makes the quote unquote bad people drop dead first. That's all that anyone can do. Because no one wanted to discuss anything on the planet. All your leaders tried to talk to you people about this shit for like 25 years. You had Al Gore explaining it to you. You have people trying to get you to tie your tubes and stop having 15 kids and then being on the welfare and everything. And everything is a conspiracy because you're mentally retarded. There's people running around now saying that it's a lie that there isn't an overpopulation of people. If you can believe people that batshit insane. I saw it myself on YouTube. There are people who actually think that the planet isn't overpopulated. They're that insane. They're stacking up people on top of people over in Hong Kong, but the planet isn't overpopulated. Because they're like profoundly retarded and they think you're going to live like the Jetsons and who cares about a tree and oh, there's plenty of trees until you cut down the tree right next to them. There's plenty of trees. They're insane. So anyway, in the grand scheme of things, I wouldn't worry about it. But right now, it's obviously maddening. Yes, it's obviously maddening because I don't know how to even explain to you because I can't wish that it would be different at this point. Okay. Once I realized what you things are actually like, your true nature and stuff, and how you are, I really can't wish that it could be different. But in the beginning years, yes, I thought that to try to do what I do and suggest things but over the course of 14 and a half years, there's no hope at all. It's just the only thing good that's actually going to happen is your total and complete extinction. I know how to solve problems. Okay, so it all comes down to you will never allow other people to be free. That is what it comes down to. You just won't. It's not even about the walking, but I mean, some of you are that retarded. You actually think you can live a life where you never walk. Like it's so grossly brain reduced. Okay. Like you don't care about your physique. Um, I think that's actually worse than the ones who are lazy and still care. They're always complaining because they're fat and stuff. I think you're actually worse than them. You don't care about your physique. You literally never want to walk anywhere. You want to go from a car to an escalator to another car. Like yeah, like you don't get any enjoyment for any type. You don't take a stroll down the street. You don't want to walk and look at Christmas lights and stuff. It like just anything. So that can't exist here. That can't exist here. That's not a person. It's just that's really. I mean, what else do you say? What else do you say? That's not a person. So like the ones who actually don't realize that all this pollution is killing you all, you're worse than the people that are doing it on purpose because they want to kill you. Yeah, you're definitely worse. Not people that are retarded like that are sort of like um, innocent or something. No, like you're not innocent. It's just you're making up the planet's not overpopulated. Okay, that's not innocent because then other people believe you. That's why it's not innocent. I don't believe in murdering people. Okay, and I honestly, at this point, it's really debatable about whether the thermonuclear weapons and the free electrons is actually murdering. It's more like a compassionate euthanasia. Everybody on planet Earth, like so retarded, you'll literally kill everyone on planet Earth. So something had to be done for the population control. Um, but no, I don't think anybody should show up and firearm children. No, but I'm explaining why I don't find your children to be innocent. Okay, you're not doing mimicry anymore, so that's your species, and your children are completely sociopathic. So when they grow up as a primate, they're in a system right now where you're in control, but yet you're not because most of them manipulate you into buying them things and stuff. But they're very, very like spoiled. They all think they're Einstein and stuff. It's like annoying to listen to. And then they will ultimately overtake you because that's what primates do. It's not like it used to be with Neanderthals. It's like difficult to actually watch. Right. They turn into literal monsters is what I'm telling. If you don't think they're monsters now, some people can see certain especially your children that they are sort of monstrous. But when they get to be adults, it's gonna be way worse. Because like I said, when I was growing up here, we didn't have all this stuff going on. We did not have a Holocaust going on. Like I said, there wasn't homeless people. You'd hear about it occasionally in like LA. There was some homeless people. All right. Like it was not like this. It's everywhere you go, you see homeless people, you see drug addicts. Okay, it's everywhere you go. And some of those people have severe brain disease, and you're calling them drug addicts because you're ignorant and you don't know the symptoms of brain disease. You say everyone's nodding off. Some of that is a symptom of brain disease when they tip over like that. Whoa. Some people are medicated because they're sick. Okay, so like a lot of it is sort of like ignorance, but we didn't have that going on. And I grew up in Massachusetts. I was here till 1994, and I left and came back in 2011. Yeah, we didn't have that, no. So like just do your 10-year-olds know homeless people are? Then that tells you something. We didn't have that. It's not because it was hidden from us, it didn't exist. Yeah, there wasn't a Holocaust going on in the United States of America in the 1970s and 80s. No. No one had autism. Yep, no one had autism. Some people were mentally retarded, but it wasn't really that prevalent. And you had people with Down syndrome. You didn't have Asperger's, and no one had autism. But how do you explain to children? Well, I feel guilty justifying myself to a lift car, and I clearly don't like doing it. To the point of I'm not going to go to a certain campground again because of having to take the lifts. Yes. Before brain surgery, we walked 7 miles with Deer twice. Okay, so I'm just explaining something. It's too far away here. It's too many times we have to ride a car. My husband doesn't drive license. So how do you explain to you? Does that work for other things? I know why you have to drive now. Okay. But like in your mind, why do you have to drive? That's probably the way that I could get you to understand that you're in a delusion. Yeah, like you're in a delusion where you're being forced to self terminate. When you go, we're a self terminating species? Like, who even talks like that? Probably a scientist? Okay. Are you a species? Like, are you a species? I'm not saying what species you are. Are you a species? Are you self terminating? Then you're a self terminating species. Like your perceptions of COVID when people started working from home, what was your perceptions of that? Is that because there was a virus and they didn't want to get sick? I would say people that after that are driving purposely, yes, and there's nothing you can do about it because you all drive. Whereas they went, we all have to stop driving. Okay, that's what they thought in their minds. And then people attempted to get mentally ill people to stay home because of a virus. So that they would stop murdering their children with the free electrons. Okay. But then it became even more driving. Okay. Because then people realized that some people, one, wouldn't stop, and two, took that opportunity to try to murder a bunch of US citizens. And that they can never be in a system with apparently not even no driving. I don't know, but they can't be in a system without a system. They can't be here without a system because they're criminals. Every crime you can imagine, they're doing it if they could get away with it. So they most definitely hate law enforcement and hate cops. They hate cops, they hate law enforcement, they hate judges, they hate people that keep a system going. Right. Not they hate money and not they hate houses and not they hate fuel and driving. They would just, that was their plan. They would just keep living here without any cops or jails and just keep printing themselves money and drive around and steal and everything. That's all they care about. But, anyways, in case you didn't know that, like some people actually did stop driving. One of them, I didn't know why I was doing it. It just seemed like a natural thing. I stopped driving in 2011. And I didn't really, in retrospect, I really didn't do that much driving in like my entire life. I got my license late. Had to get a car to go to college. That's why I got my license in my car to go to college. And then when I was married, I sat either in an apartment in a house and didn't drive. So I really didn't do that much driving in my life. But I left my car at the Greyhound bus station when I came up there the first time. The second time I was flown basically against my will back up there. But the first time I parked my convertible with Greyhound, the keys in it, and got on the bus. Then I had no income and I didn't want to use fuel. So if I couldn't walk somewhere, I didn't go there. I didn't have money for MBTA and I wanted to walk everywhere. I wanted to walk everywhere. Yeah. So I guess how do you explain to your children why you have to drive? I'd say that's a pretty good way to try to get the difference, I guess, why I think I'm a different species than you are. Yeah, I would say that's a big one. It's not really because I didn't do it because at the beginning, I didn't do it because I was aware that it was killing children. I just wanted to do it. Like it seemed more natural to walk than to drive, and you need money and stuff for that. I was completely against the monetary system. It has to do with like grandiosity, but some of these words, I guess, seem more like insults than sort of like explaining differences. Where um, you clearly think that your life matters more than other people's. You clearly do. Yeah, like I don't know, like you just go, what was your perceptions of a person who just didn't didn't have any money and didn't go anywhere to? What's your perceptions of that? Like, is that person insane? Is that like a sad life to live or something? The way it is now, I think I was talking to my husband about this. Um, Even if it ever gets to the point, okay, where you guys, the people I'm talking about are the ones who don't obey the law when there is no more law. Okay, like the straight out criminals. Okay, if you ever got to the point where you actually realized that that stuff is killing people, okay, and you thought that you were going to make a safe zone like Kane West and you're going to buy half of Georgia and stuff, people will just drive there. Right. People are driving on purpose because of the free electrons. Does that seem insane to you now? like, say that some of you people in 2008 and 2009 are the very people that um, partook in the illegal foreclosures and taking people's children and take yeah, eventually, thanks, babe, and taking people's houses and refusing to like stop in 2011 when we all asked you to, when people were trying to block off traffic and stuff, and like, okay, because you guys had to do some sort of revenge on people and all that, remember? You're going to teach us a lesson. You're going to take over the power base, and we're all going to, I guess, be put in an oven or whatever it was. I would think that you would sort of just, bow your head like you're in a dramatic, like Denzel Washington film, and just go, because you would know that it's over and why at that point. That clearly no one is gonna stop driving on your account or set up a safe zone or let a safe zone be set up. I don't want to keep you up, babe. I'm almost done talking. I'm just trying to finish the thought stream. It seemed to me at one point in time that I was wondering if some people thought that after we learn some sort of a comic lesson, which is like revenge, okay, and the power base went flip flop, and the poor became rich, and the rich became poor, and all this stuff, that then people would stop driving, and everybody would come together as one. Okay, that's not happening. Okay, that's clearly not happening. Oh, Charlie horse. That's why I don't like the terminology experiencing homelessness.
At the last moment and tried to prevent it. She didn't anticipate that, and there was a struggle that ensued.
I do.
But even after a struggle like that, he's still going after her eyes.
When victims fight back, there's more DNA that we can utilize.
I just like waking up in the morning and the thing's not totally dead, but I'll just have to charge it when I get up.
Anything like that.
She had a cut just to the right of her eye in this temple area that on X-ray
I don't feel
we
like,
had seen a
if
little
it's going to be
fragment of
raining
metal.
too, I can't do it. There's nowhere to
Would
sit or
remove
anything out there, so
a
I'd have to stand
small
outside the bathroom for
triangle
30, 40
of
minutes.
what turned out to be an X-Acto knife.
With the discovery of the exact
Well, unfortunately, I have no internet when the laptop is not charged.
And professional medical tools. We just knew from the evidence we were dealing with
I suppose that doesn't sound very fun, but you're right on that. He said I could lock myself in the single bathroom and just sit in that.
So now we had somebody that had knowledge of anatomy, that had studied or learned how to look at the eyes.
No, I know.
In
It's
a
fine.
very rudimentary way, using.
So I can't even listen. So I can't listen to YouTube, Pluto. I got nothing but plain solitaire. So I should try to fall asleep while there's still some charge on the laptop. To like some, maybe I'll put the Amityville thing on again in my ear. He likes different shows. He puts on like cold case files and FBI files and stuff, and I usually just listen to my phone.
From the killer to the victim.
Sometimes when he falls asleep, I'll put like a 48 hours on and put the laptop closer to me.
They have evidence, but no suspect and no motive.
Because I'm half blind and I don't like it like really far away from me. He just wants to listen to it, but I actually want it like next to me because sometimes I don't know, it's weird because I fall asleep. It's just like when I was in the room in Hyde Park, I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to put this on, except back then I used to fall asleep and literally like as soon as I stopped talking on a live stream and put a thing on, within 2 minutes I'd be asleep. Because I was walking 9 miles a day and following my diet, and I was still doing push-ups and stuff. And especially when I wasn't smoking, you just go to sleep.
And he started driving a different direction, and she said, "Let me out of the car." He turned to her with a look of rage in his face and said, "I hate hoes. I'm gonna kill her."
So what I was asking about the if people thought there was a comic shift and all this, and then people afterwards when everybody has learned what it's like to be everybody else and understand each other and understand how wrong we were, basically. It's usually understand how wrong the other person was. And then we'll all come together as one community and stuff. Okay. I would ask people like Jane Goodall to maybe like explain to you what they think that is.
He's not Mexican, but he has olive skin tone. That's what she meant.
It sounds like a primate game that they play in the jungle. Whereas destroying people's lives and murdering people by forcing them to sit up in a chair is not a dominant male gorilla knocking you down when you stand up and pretend to walk in a fun game. So that's not what's going on.
Cops enter in all the addresses they've come across in their investigation to see if any are linked to
Like seriously, we're not apes in a jungle. Even the Neanderthals would tell you that. You're so brain reduced.
Commonalities that I could find.
I put in that computer that driver's license from Ashton Schindler with the address of 1035 Eldorado, and it pulled up Frederick Albright. So I said, "Well, who is that?" Frederick Albright was Ashton Schindler's landlord.
Upon searching the tax records, we discovered